Hi, everyone. Meteorologist Bill Rentschler alongside meteorologist Carmelo Lattuca in the 1011 Now streaming studio for a forecast for a not-so-nice weekend.
I mean, that's depending on the point of view, Bill.
I-
No, it's not so nice. I mean, compared to what is out there right now, with temperatures in the 60s, it's going to be a little bit chilly out there this weekend. Chilly out there tomorrow, and I would say cold, in fact, by the time we get to Sunday.
I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so you're not wrong that some folks may be a big fan of the weather that we're going to have this weekend. It is early November.
Yes.
Our average high temperature now is like 56.
So this
Average
is still
low
a shock
temperature
when we get to
is
Sunday.
31.
Yes.
And we're still going to be pretty far below those numbers. But you actually looked it up earlier this week. Our average first day with a sub 40-degree high temperature is November 6th,
Yes.
which was yesterday.
So pretty close.
So it's funny how sort of punctual Mother Nature can be sometimes. Last year, it was not so much in that we had our latest first snow ever. It was all the way till January. But sometimes it's right on.
See, what I think is really funny is that we haven't even had a high temperature below 50 degrees, and on Sunday, we're going to be in the mid-30s. So we're just going to skip those 40-degree highs and go straight into the 30s and just barely climb above freezing.
Yeah, and so this weekend there's a lot to talk about. There's going to be obviously the colder temperatures. There's going to be the wind, and then there's going to be the precipitation that we're going to be watching for too, which is going to be rain for a lot of us, snow for others, and that's kind of the big question that we're trying to answer for Lincoln.
And we could see some flurries. I think some snowflakes are certainly possible, especially as we head into tomorrow evening and perhaps maybe early Sunday morning. I really think the majority of the precipitation is going to fall as rain. It's not going to be really far off where we start to see some snowflakes, but accumulating snow I don't think is likely at all in the capital city.
So we'll go ahead and jump into the graphics here. And again, this is I took these graphics from your show, so these are your comments,
Yes.
not mine. But obviously, we just talked about a much colder weekend ahead, looking at kind of two waves of precipitation possible tomorrow, one earlier in the day, one later in the day, and then the minor snowfall accumulations mainly in the northeastern part of the state. So jumping in, beautiful sunset again here in Lincoln, blue sky all day today. We can start to see this is kind of the beginnings of this system.
Yes.
With the cloud cover going to be moving in from the west through the day through the night tonight.
It's interesting you talk about the two waves. I think we'll see some rain in the morning. We actually could see a little bit of sunshine tomorrow, late morning, early afternoon, a very narrow window, and then the cloud cover increases again, and then more chances for rain.
And again, it's interesting. Again, fall, obviously, transitional season. We can get some pretty wild swings in our temperatures. So 60, what was the high today? 68?
68.
So we're down to 62. And we're on the elevator. We're on the top floor, and we're heading down right now. So it really is very comfortable outside this evening, Friday evening. Weather's not going to cause any problems for anyone. It's just, moving forward is going to be the issue. So satellite radar picture right now, statewide view, we can see the cloud cover beginning to move in across central and western Nebraska. You zoom out a little bit, and we can start to see some of that precipitation, and we can even see maybe a little bit of that spin of that system that we're going to be keeping an eye of. Right now, it's beginning to push into Montana.
It is beginning to push Montana. Very powerful system. Most powerful cold front, I think, most likely at this point this season, and not only in Lincoln, but across much of Nebraska. I mean, the drop in temperatures we're expecting. And it's funny because we're going to warm right back up into next week. But again, we're talking about 30s on Sunday and then maybe lows in the teens as we head into Monday morning.
Yeah, we will rebound. That is the good news. This is going to be a short-lived cold snap. So, again, kind of breaking down the timing of this, Carmelo. Again, through this evening, it's no problems. It's increasing cloudiness is basically the main issue tonight.
Right.
By 10 o'clock tonight, maybe parts of western Nebraska, far western Nebraska, are starting to see a little bit of a wintry mix. It's that main wave that kind of heads across the northern tier of the state overnight tonight and into portions of northeastern, eastern Nebraska into Saturday morning. So this is 2 a.m. Saturday morning.
48 hours ago, we thought this was going to be mainly Saturday afternoon and evening, and this has really begun to increase its speed. So it's now early Saturday morning. We can start to see some rain, and then we fast forward just a little bit. I think that 7 to 9 a.m. mark here in Lincoln, but as early as 5 a.m., we're talking about snow in northeastern Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Those darker blues could be more of that wet snow, maybe that heavy wet snow, but the ground temperatures, I think, are really important. They are above freezing, so not expecting a lot in terms of accumulation.
And I can look at, and I'm going to see if we can punch it up here real quick. We can actually look at, these are your ground temperatures. This is the Nebraska Mesonet. So, again, this is available to folks at home if they wanted to go check this out. This real time, right now, the sensors, ground temperatures are reading upper 40s, low 50s.
It's just not a long duration event where we're going to be able to drop these temperatures. But
And
again,
so,
snowflakes flying, just not a lot on the ground.
yeah, and so this is one of those, to overcome this, you would have to have such hugely intense snowfall rates, which we're not going to have with this system. And if we look at since midnight last night, and if we look at the minimum ground temperature, it's low to mid 40s in northeastern Nebraska, which has the best chance of maybe seeing some light accumulating snow. But this is what happens early in the season: is you get these snows. It's just not going to stick.
No, not at all.
It's just not. It's going to have a really hard time even getting some minor accumulation. So 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, northeastern Nebraska, looking at the best possibility for some of that snow to fall. Again, it might stick on some elevated surfaces, things like that, but even the concrete is still well above freezing. So that's 5 a.m. As you head kind of towards 9 a.m. here in Lincoln, our chance begins to kind of tick up a little bit.
I think so. I think this is when we could see some rain, and it's not really far off where that freezing line is between the wintry mix and the snow. I mean, we're talking about Tacoma, we're talking about Columbus, maybe as far south as Omaha. I just don't think we're going to be that cool in the morning to get those snowflakes. I think we have a better chance as we head into the evening hours. Certainly some morning precipitation possible. I'm not saying it won't rain at all, but in terms of precip, I think it's going to be mainly rain.
And so then you step forward in time. This is kind of wave one.
Right.
And so that's 9 a.m. You go
There's that-
forward in time till noon. And this is where, like you said, you could see maybe a few peaks of sunshine.
Yes, that narrow window, because you can see once we start to get into Grand Island and points north, the cloud cover increases. But between Lincoln and Grand Island, York, a little bit of sunshine there. It's going to be really quick though, because we fast forward into the afternoon, that cloud cover moves right back through. Another wave of some light to perhaps moderate rain showers. Not expecting a lot of precip totals with the system. If we do see rain, I mean, most of our models are talking about less than 1/10 of an inch, so not a heavy, impactful system, but certainly something to watch out for.
This is one of those systems, again, when we're forecasting the weather, especially in the wintertime, we keep an eye on which direction the system's coming from, and this is coming basically from over Canada, so there's not a ton of moisture with this system. There's a little Pacific moisture with it, but it does not have access to like Gulf moisture. If it did, we'd be concerned with maybe heavier rainfall amounts, heavier snowfall amounts, but there is just not that much moisture associated with this system. So you head afternoon into the evening, that's when potentially wave 2 kind of hits, again on the back end of this low pressure system that's going to be skirting through, and that's when probably Lincoln would see the best chance to maybe see a few snowflakes.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, earlier this week we were talking about Saturday evening being more impactful than Saturday morning. I think the complete opposite is there now. I mean, by 10 p.m. Saturday evening, most, if not all, of this precipitation's out of the area. I'm not saying we couldn't see a few flurries at this point as our temperatures begin to really fall, but I think we'll be a lot quieter tomorrow night at 10 p.m. than we would be at 10 a.m. Saturday morning.
And then you head Saturday evening into Sunday morning. Skies are clearing out by
That's a bad thing.
I mean,
allow our temperatures to fall down.
That is going to
really
allow the
quickly.
temperatures to drop pretty quickly. But Sunday morning, it's probably call it mostly clear to partly cloudy.
Yes.
Across much of the state. Then through the day on Sunday, again, probably generally looking at mainly sunny skies for much of the state by Sunday afternoon. But again, it will be much colder
breezy
and breezy.
Winds, and
so it's going to be a pretty raw day.
It's going to be a raw day indeed. I mean, we're talking about highs barely struggling to get to the freezing mark in eastern Nebraska. And yes, we were just talking about these precip totals. I mean, our outlier is that top model, the Euro. About 1/4 of an inch. I don't think that's fairly likely at all. I think under 1/10 seems most probable. It's just these spotty showers. This isn't a heavy rain that's going to be moving through. And when we're talking precip, again, we're talking about rain. This is not snowfall accumulation in Lincoln.
Yes, and this is just the liquid.
Yes.
This is the liquid, and so this is for Lincoln over the next 36 hours. Kind of the 6 main weather models that we will look at. So this is the precip, and then if you do look at the snow, there are a couple models that do have 1/10 of an inch, and again, I think you and I both think that's probably pretty generous at this point.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely up from earlier. I mean, I think it was only 1 out of the 6
Yep.
snow in 1/10, but I don't think we're going to see sticking snow in Lincoln
No,
tomorrow. I would be
absolutely.
pretty surprised.
I think that is pretty far out there. And so we did roll with a sort of official snowfall forecast, and trace to an inch for areas like Omaha up into northeastern Nebraska, Wayne, Norfolk, up towards Atkinson, O'Neill. A trace to an inch may fall, but again, that's not necessarily what's going to be on the ground because a lot of it will likely melt.
I like that you put flurries possible because that is certainly, I think, the most that we could expect maybe in Lincoln and a lot of southeastern Nebraska. But it's really northwestern Iowa, southeastern South Dakota. a better chance of accumulating snow.
Yeah, they could see a little band where, again, maybe you get an inch or two, but again, a lot of that, again, will be melting. So, again, the wintry mix, it's going to be light precipitation. It's just going to kind of make for some periods of kind of just unpleasantness
Yes.
through the day on your Saturday. What we will feel more of and what will be more tangible for just about everyone in the 10-11 coverage area is going to be the wind and the cold. So, the wind, you're going to have a low pressure kind of moving through, and you're going to get two waves. You're going to get the low pressure moving through, and then you're going to get the big push from the cold front of the really cold air that's going to settle into the area. So winds will kind of be a little variable as that low kind of tracks through, but then eventually it'll be whipping out of the west and northwest pretty well. This is Saturday morning. Again, it's not terrible, but you'll notice, again, through the day, especially in central and western Nebraska, which are prone to being a little bit breezier, it's gusted pretty good there. It could 35, 45 miles an hour for a good chunk of central and western Nebraska tomorrow afternoon.
I mean, just think about it. If we were talking about heavy snowfall in that part of the state,
It's
could we talk
being
about
blizzard
conditions? Yes. But
Yeah, you would.
fortunately, that's not what's going to happen. But yeah, so I think 30, 35 seems pretty probable here in Lincoln for wind gusts. So it's going to be a breezy day. Probably not as bad as out to the west, but I think this is a multi-day breezy condition kind of event, and it's really going to feel unpleasant by the time we get to Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, and so those winds will probably peak Saturday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
They do diminish a bit into Saturday night, but we're still talking gusts 25 to 35 during that time frame, and then even into the day Sunday. Again, they aren't as bad, but you're still talking 20 to 35 mile an hour
Not gonna
gusts.
feel good.
It didn't take that much wind to add to the wind chill.
Not at all.
And so we'll have plenty of it. The wind will eventually begin to subside as we head towards Sunday night and then into early Monday morning. And again, that's going to set the stage for some brutally cold conditions for early November.
Dare I say frigid?
I mean, you probably could say frigid, yeah.
I think so with teens, especially the first of the year. But these are our lows as we head into Saturday morning. I think below freezing seems fairly likely in northern, northeastern Nebraska, closer to 40 in southeastern Nebraska. So, I mean, it's above average, cool for this time of year still. I mean, it's cool out there. 40 degrees is going to be cool, but not as bad as what we have over the next few days.
And so then highs tomorrow, again, you look at it and you're like, that's not too bad for early November. And it's not, low to mid 40s in northern Nebraska, low to mid 50s in southern Nebraska.
But these would probably be earlier in the day, too.
Probably
right?
earlier in the afternoon than we would normally see our high temperature, which again nowadays is probably between 3 and 3:30.
Yes.
Probably earlier in the day because once that cold front moves through and hits, you'll feel the wind. It'll be one of those where it's like you can feel a biting wind and you can feel the colder air moving in. So highs tomorrow, again, much cooler than we've seen the last couple days. And then you just kind of go down from there. Feels like temperatures tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock, we're looking at low 30s to low 50s. Again, coldest readings obviously in the north. Low temperatures Sunday morning.
Ooh.
Just this would be the coldest we've had so far this year. Here in Lincoln, I think our coldest low is 24 so far.
I think that's right.
So your mid to upper teens, low to mid 20s Sunday morning. You factor in the wind chills, lower to middle teens for a lot of eastern Nebraska. Sunday afternoon, high temperatures, which are coldest high temperatures so far this year, was
51.
51
November 2nd.
on November 1st.
November 1st, yes. And now we're talking about 16 degrees cooler as we head into Sunday. 35, that is just unpleasant.
So, yeah, low 30s to low 40s, east to west. But again, factor in the wind chill Sunday afternoon. We're looking at 20s for most of the eastern half of the state, some 30s then in the west. This just screams crockpot weather to me.
Oh, that sounds great.
So like chili or
Some sort of soup.
some sort of soup
Yes.
that warms the bones a little bit. But then we're not as concerned with wind chill as you head into Monday, but just the actual air temperatures then Monday morning, you're in the teens.
These have been plummeting all week.
They have.
I mean,
We've
we were talking about
consistently been trending down every day.
both the high on Sunday and the low Monday morning. And I really think if we, 5 to 15 mile per hour wind Monday morning, you're talking about single digit feeling
Oh, yeah.
temperatures.
100%. And then temperatures do begin to moderate a little bit Monday afternoon, especially in the west.
Yes.
They'll be in the 60s for parts of the Panhandle, maybe southwestern
It'll take a little bit
Nebraska.
more time in eastern Nebraska. But 35 to 44, I mean, that's a warm up.
It is.
Gradual.
It is. So low to mid 40s again. The cold, high pressure will be settling over the middle parts of the country, and we'll still be on the periphery of that cold, high pressure. From there, things do get better. Again, as you head into the week next week, Veterans Day on Tuesday, it's back to the mid to upper 60s.
Going from 13 Monday morning to 67 Tuesday afternoon. But that's that season for you,
That's-
transitional roller coaster season. But the rest of the week, next week, looks pretty good. I mean,
It does.
lows around freezing, but I'll take mid to upper 60s this time of year.
Oh, no,
day.
I mean, yeah, it looks like it should be pretty nice. And if you're looking for even nicer, your Anderson Wealth and Retirement Husker Game Day forecast,
We should be
you would
heading out
like
there.
to channel some warmer vibes. Again, they're going to be in the low 80s, I think, for a high tomorrow. But tailgating before the game,
Beautiful.
upper 70s near 80. Kickoff 6 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock Central time. Out there, it's going to be a kickoff temperature of around 70, low 60s by post. And then again, if you're still wanting to channel some of the warmer vibes, this is the 6 to 10 day outlook. So this is November 13th through the 17th. Very good odds at above average temperatures. The 8 to 14 day temperature outlook taking us through November 15th through the 21st also continues to favor above average temperatures. So this will be a very short
Cold snap.
cold snap.
So average high right now, 56 degrees.
56.
So you'd have to imagine
today.
as the later we go into the month, that falls in maybe the low 50s, perhaps
say low
upper 40s, probably low 50s.
I would
though.
say low 50s here in Lincoln, but certainly probably upper 40s for parts of western Nebraska.
So the chances there that 60 plus is going to continue through potentially November 21st. At least more days than not, at least have a chance of being above average. I mean, above average doesn't have to mean 60s, but when your highs in the low to mid 50s, that's possible.
If we can punch up here, this is Chief Meteorologist Brad Anderson. No, that's the 7-day forecast. I want Brad Anderson's 10-day forecast. Gosh darn it. That's the morning 10-day forecast.
I'd imagine it's got 60s on there, but
I would
35
guess.
on Sunday. That's certainly cool. But I think I would imagine 60s, if not upper 50s at the least, because again, that's just a chance for above average temperatures. You know, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it's more probable than not. And it certainly looked like it was going to be that 6 to 10 and the 8 to 14 day outlook. I think precip wise, when I was looking at it earlier, drier than normal 6 to 10 day outlook, maybe wetter than normal 8 to 14 days. So certainly more rain than snow.
Here is Chief Meteorologist Brad Anderson's 10-day
Alrighty.
forecast. 65, 59, 56
Looks
for
pretty good to me.
next Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, scarce in terms of precip though. Maybe Saturday, Sunday, but 20% chances at this point. But yeah, that's not overall, it's not a bad forecast. There we go. So the average high was 56 to 51, so it's still low 50s. So
Yes.
maybe in the 8 to 14 day it drops in the upper 40s. But pretty good. You just gotta get through this weekend. Don't want cool temperatures at any point in the week, but that Monday morning, that's when the kids for sure will really begin to bundle up. Don't want to be outside for very long.
No. And again, I think the big thing, we're obviously not trying to hype anything up or make a to-do about anything. But, first chance at maybe some snowflakes here in Lincoln is probably, again, we said this, but bottom line, accumulating snow, not likely for us here in Lincoln.
And we're still 11 days from our first average.
Correct.
And based on that forecast, I would be thinking past the average day.
Probably.
I mean, what was last year, Bill?
January 5th.
Wow. Incredible. I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not putting any predictions on that, but
I mean, we set a record not only for the latest first snow, we set a record for the largest spread between the last snow of the previous season and the first snow of the following season.
Yes.
So, but yeah, this is not going to be a huge rainmaker or snowmaker. Parts of northeastern Nebraska, best chance for at least a little bit of light accumulating snow. It's going to be the much colder temperatures. First time this year that we've seen this much widespread cold. And then, like you said, Monday morning, lows in the teens to start the day. It's going to be bitterly cold, and then just wind kind of through the weekend. Good Life Havsey is Sunday morning.
Yes.
Which, again, those runners are just brave, running a marathon or whatever it might. Half marathon. I'm not sure what the full race actually is.
Regardless, I think
layers,
any amount of time outside, yes.
Layers. And if you're going to be cheering on a loved one, layers and hand warmers. And set the crock pot before you go, so that way when you're done with the race, you can go get your crock pot meal when you get home.
Bill, believe it or not, I haven't turned on my heat yet. I've been able to get away with it.
We've still in my house. We've been on, because we have the Nest thermostat. We're still on the cool heat setting. So it's in our house it's 68, 72, and so it might have kicked on for maybe an hour or two there. And I don't think that was
my point. Being with that, I think by Monday morning I'm going to need it on.
You're going to need it'll be a 3-dog night.
Yes.
So yeah. Hope everyone stays warm. Hope everyone has a good weekend. Again, there's a lot going on. State volleyball, Good Life Havsey, and a lot of other things going on. So hope everyone can, again, get all those activities in, stay warm, stay dry, and all those good things. Always, you're going to have us covered through the weekend.
Yeah, stay tuned to the forecast. No early show tomorrow night, so I'll be on at 10 10 or 10:30 tomorrow night. But I know for sure we have no early show tomorrow. We have both of our shows on Sunday, so have you up to date on all the latest on our temperatures.
And I bet you'll probably be right back here on the streaming desk sometime maybe tomorrow evening.
Oh, absolutely. And not in replace, but definitely still want to talk about the weather at some point tomorrow.
Yeah. So again, make sure you have 1011 weather app downloaded on your phone, 1011 app on your Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, all the sort of connected TVs. We have an app for it. Download it. Make sure it's on there so you can keep up to date with newscasts. And again, we're live on there throughout a lot of the day. So, anything else?
I think we covered it all.
Okay. All right. We covered a lot of ground.
Definitely.
All right. Well, appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching. Again, hope everyone has a nice weekend. And until next time, keep it tuned to 1011 both on air and online.